Mavericks. It's good to be back after a long, painful 6 months of staying home and playing video games all day. As you hopefully know by now, I'm Curtis Donner, and I'm here running to represent you as an officer this upcoming year. The only running I've done during quarantine. But there is a benefit to that. I'm setting new personal highs in the weight room. Well, that's what I call my skill. This year has and is going to be very unusual, and there's no question about that. But I think together, we can hit it hard while also remembering to hit the unmute button, something I've struggled with. This year can be life-changing, and I want to make it as easy as it possibly can be for all of you. I want to add fun, games, and activities that everyone can enjoy and partake in. Not just the trivias and name the tunes that I've ran in the past, but games that are appealing to all. I will do everything in my power to make this year as fun as it can be in whatever ways I can, because I feel like everyone here deserves that after the difficult year we've gone through. My goal is to maximize the engagement of the student body. And I assure you I can do this, because as my weight room shows me, I am a student with a maximized body. To do this, I will listen to each and every one of you, and I've finally found a way how. Listen up. People have called me an innovator, and for good reason. Get this. During quarantine, while I wasted the day away playing Call of Duty, I realized my call to duty: to better this school the best I can for each one of you during these obviously less than ideal times. To do this, if I'm lucky enough to get your votes, I'm going to try to implement a form that the president sends out bi-weekly so that whoever wants to will easily have a communication line to SAC, and as a result, the administration. I would love to represent the class of 2022, and if you guys let me, I will get to work as soon as possible because I already know the ropes as a former SAC, vice president, and officer.
Hello everyone, let's jump right into it. This SAC election marks one like no other for me. A new type of election, once unheard of by me. One which I simply can't beg for your vote like I have in every other election. Why? Because we finally had a successful campaign. Yes, I never thought this day would come, but we did it, and I am now seeking re-election because I want to still have the opportunity to lead this school now more than ever. Let me tell you about why I'd be a good candidate. This past summer, I actually started a little car wash business. Similarly to how you guys felt so bad for me that you finally dropped a vote. A whole lot of customers, and by that I mean like 5 of my mom's friends and the nice old lady who lives down the street, felt the same way, and they put me in business. When I tell you business was booming, I mean it. I was washing dirty cars like it was nothing. I'll never forget the time I actually found a car wash receipt in one of my customers' cars with the timestamp showing that they had visited the car wash earlier that day. Ha! Funny, why would they want 2 car washes in one day? I always strive to outdo my rivals in the industry and deliver the best possible service to my customers. Having been a committed, lucrative business owner, I will carry this passion, commitment, and newly acquired skill set to SAC. During my time with SAC this past year, we were facing very difficult circumstances with the challenges presented by COVID, and I had the chance to lead projects like the SAC Spotify playlist. I want to again work through these obstacles and have the opportunity to continue projects of mine that got postponed last year, like adding protein bars to the cafeteria and organizing important logistics for the Powder Puff football game. This school might not be a car, but let's add some extra shine to it this year. Please vote Patrick Fanning.
Hi, my name is Will Gordon, and I'm running for your junior SAC representative. This is my first year running for a student leadership position at St. John's, so I believe that I can bring some new ideas to the table. I've only been at St. John's for 2 years, and now we're over halfway through our high school careers. Thanks to this worldwide pandemic we've experienced for the past 6 months, time appears to have slowed down. I, along with many others, have had to keep myself busy during these days of quarantine. I've been doing activities in quarantine that I never thought I'd do, like baking, cooking, and actually doing schoolwork. Nobody has had to live this type of school life ever. This is a new time for everybody, which I believe requires new people with new ideas. This is why I believe that I am a unique fit for this position. I know that we are going to need some help when we return to school. If you elect me for your junior SAC representative, I promise to all of you that I will be open to any ideas to help better our school and student body during this time. Just remember, vote for Will, because where there's a will, there's a way.
What's poppin'? My name is Alon Grossman. I'm running for a position on the Student Affairs Council this upcoming school year. Wow, what a ride these past 6 months have been. I don't know about you, but I spend a tremendous amount of time on TikTok. Not only do I watch TikToks, but I also happen to be a creator. Unfortunately, none of my videos have blown up. However, that won't stop me from trying. Just like my refusal to give up on my dream of becoming the next Addison Rae, I won't give up on you guys. If elected, I will bring new ideas, #4you. I will use my creator creativity to come up with new games and projects for SAC and you all. My goal is to try and get more people involved than ever before in SAC and make it a habit amongst the junior class to participate in events. Since my last SAC speech, where I made myself a goal to grow, I really have achieved many things. While I grew about an inch, or 3 if you ask my driver's license, I really put forth an effort to grow the school. While the end of last year deemed boredom and lacked face-to-face interaction, I put forth the idea of using our SAC social media platform to bring enjoyment and laughter to our student body. Our SAC Instagram took off. We saw the most active viewership on the account ever. Instagram takeovers were a huge success. So whether you were there to watch your peers struggle to finish their assignments the night before they were due, or to watch your prefects cook omelets after hours, there was something for everyone on the IG, and there is something for everyone when it comes to SAC. SAC is very important to me, and I would love to see it flourish this year. So as I close, remember that I'll always be there for each and every one of you. Thank you all for listening, and I hope to be on your For You page and your ballot soon. Thanks, vote EG.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and my life is kind of crazy. You know, I drink a decent amount of boba, but I wish I could drink more because boba makes the gray skies go away. So what I'm saying is, I want to be y'all's boba. What I'm here to do is run for the opportunity to represent y'all during this 2020 school year. 2020 has definitely not consisted of the good vibes we were hoping for. 1, we're stuck at home, and 2, we can't see our friends. During the beginning of quarantine, I was wondering how to stay connected with my friends, and as y'all know, I'm pretty big into music. So I made playlists and shared music with them. Music helps calm me down when I'm angry or anxious, or cheer me up when I'm down. Music helped bring and keep my friends and I together, and all I really want to do for our grade is bring us together, because right now it's hard to connect socially because of the situation we're in. However, music could be the remedy to that. So how would I do that? Well, I was thinking I could create a Spotify account or playlist for our grade. The playlist could be collaborative, so anyone can add songs, and I can port them over to Apple Music. I'll have to figure out something for the driver of Black Magic though, because for some reason he uses Amazon Music. Don't ask me. Anyways, the playlist could be weekly drops or just a new song every now and then to try and keep the vibes up. I know we have an amazing radio station, but these would be songs that y'all could hopefully add to your library and they would be there to stay. I know I'm not the most serious kid, but when it comes to people, I try my very best to make sure that everyone feels included and comfortable and is doing okay. If y'all put your trust in me, I promise to do everything a Ryan can do to meet your personal and school needs. If y'all need a pick-me-up, I got you. If you have a request for SAC, you could come to me and I'll do my very best to see it through. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. I hope everyone's safe. Vote Ryan or I'll be crying. Thank you.
2 years ago, I thought I was good enough to play on the golf team. Then, everything changed when I got cut. A couple minutes passed, and I thought I might try baseball. I showed up to practice the next day, and I did pretty badly. How bad was I? I only made the second worst player look like he might become the next Jose Altuve. The coaches told me after practice to expect no playing time that season. I was having such a bad day, I bought some batteries, and they weren't included. However, I stuck with it. And the next morning I decided to put everything into baseball. I practiced batting every day, spent hours studying the throwing motion of the top pitchers, and did endless base running drills for a month. I wasn't expecting it, but the email from coach came. I was on the list of substitutes for the next game. All I could think about going into the game was that this was going to be my first opportunity to play. I got to the game, and I waited for the coaches to put me in. But the coaches were focused on mounting a furious comeback that just fell short. We lost 11-0. Finally, the moment came. 3 games later, my teammates and I sat on a bench, thinking about whether or not we would be playing. Then I heard Coach Paulo yell, "Raul, get your helmet on! You're going into the game! To pinch run!" I ran onto first base, got a major lead, and when I got the chance, I stole second base. I felt a rush when I stole the base. I had finally contributed to the team. As a member of SAC, I promise I will work hard to give each of y'all the same chance I got to contribute. I will make sure each of y'all get a chance to be a part of this team. I am ready to face any challenge that is foolish enough to face me. Dwight Schrute.
Hello, class of 2022 Mavericks. My name is Charlie Leach, and I would like to be your grade president this year. Now, I've identified 3 key characteristics in myself that will help lead our grade to a great junior year. These include confidence, determination, and learning from my mistakes. As a man of science, I wouldn't make these claims without having evidence, so let me set the scene. Right after quarantine, I'm a week out from getting my license, driving home from baseball. It's stop-and-go traffic, so I look at the radio to cue up Roar by Katy Perry for an energy boost. I skip song after song, waiting for the right one, then bam. Now, for legal reasons, don't ask me if it was my fault, because I wasn't looking, so I'm really not sure. But I smack right into the car in front of me. This is where confidence is key. After pulling to the side, I rush over to the man I hit and make sure he's alright. I quickly determined we should probably get off the highway rather than hit by cars. This confidence will help me be more precise in my decision making, which will ultimately improve the school. I also ask you to be confident coming to me with suggestions to improve our school, because this is where the real work gets done. Now, in the next few days, I received what some would call an absurd amount of calls from Bill. Now, this is determination. My dad told me to leave it to him and not return Bill's calls. Bill didn't realize this though and proceeded to call and call and call, but I was determined not to pick up. This determination will help me follow through with ideas and really make an impact on the school year. Finally, I had to learn from my mistakes. Well, for the next week, I was so gun-shy, I drove in radio silence. Learning from these kinds of mistakes will allow me to improve our grade as well as our SAC fundamentals. Being an officer twice already, I know how to get things done as soon as we are back on campus. These 3 traits, along with my ability to learn and listen to you all, make me the ideal candidate for SAC representative in order to institute ideas such as continuing to increase student-run assemblies, improving the house game system, decreasing plastic waste, and bringing back General Tso's chicken. Be a peach, vote for Leach. Thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm Russell. I know it feels weird listening to these speeches over Zoom. But this year is a different year. We're all doing online school. As we know, we've all been social distancing. We haven't seen our friends as much as we've wanted to. And here I am, on a screen, asking for the chance to represent you. So why should you pick me? Let me first tell a story. One Saturday morning in July, I was finishing up my weekly 8-mile long run. It was 90 degrees and 99% humidity outside. I was thinking, man, I need to sit down and get some water, like right now. But I didn't, I kept going, and I was staggering down the sidewalk when all of a sudden, I heard this car horn. I was like, what? It turns out, one of my cross-country captains was driving by and waving at me. I was like, yes, someone I know. I was so happy to see him that after yelling his name, I sprinted after the car until I realized that I was running and he was driving. So what does this story of me running in the heat have anything to do with SAC? A few things, it turns out. First, I'm a tireless worker. I'm that guy who is up at the crack of dawn to put in 110% effort, no matter what. In this case, it was for the cross-country team. But I can guarantee that my effort will go towards supporting all of you. Second, I'm perceptive and immediately responsive. I will always listen to you, even in the toughest times. And third, I understand what it's like to be away from everyone we know for so long. That's exactly why I was so happy to see my cross-country captain that day. That's exactly why I'm always so happy to see y'all in class, even if it's on Zoom. And that is why my number 1 priority as your elected SAC representative this year is finding innovative ways to keep us as a grade together. But our school needs reps who can build new solutions that carry us through these times. And I'm experienced in this. Shameless plug, this summer, I built up a tutoring organization, and huge thanks to all of y'all who are a part of it. So, when y'all vote today, if you want the guy who will outwork anyone at any time, if you want the rep who will listen to you no matter what, if you want the rep who understands why we sometimes feel down, and if you want someone who has a track record of brainstorming and building new creative solutions with enthusiasm, then click on my name, Russell, because I'm going to hustle to help all of us win. Thank you.
Hello, Class 11. You may know me as the kid who plays football on the Great Lawn, or the kid who has an abnormally sized backpack. But if you haven't heard of me, my name is Anshul Nayak. I believe I should be one of your representatives for the duration of the 2020-2021 school year. My past experiences have turned me into a person capable of shouldering the responsibility and having the work ethic needed to be an outstanding SAC representative. I have the perfect story that emphasizes such a notion. During the summer, I tutored students from a variety of backgrounds and ages through 5-Star Tutoring and SEBA International. Right before my first session, I was a nervous wreck. I vividly remember asking myself, should I have signed up for this? Am I qualified enough for this? Minutes felt like years as I waited for my first ever student to arrive. However, upon seeing his eyes shine with his eagerness to learn, all my worries were assuaged as I realized that I had a duty educating these children that were counting on me. Through tough times, such as tough topics to teach or tough students that refused to listen, I persevered through these challenges through sheer hard work and determination. If elected as SAC representative, it will be my duty to put forth new ideas for SAC activities with 100% of my dedication, and I will not fail to deliver on requests made by students of St. John's. Some propositions I have in mind for SAC activities, especially during the times we live in, include online movie nights on the weekend and much more. I also promise to use 100% of my effort to push for changes in our school that can better the environment we have at St. John's, such as more free dress days and many more. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and vote Anshul Nayak for SAC representative for the 2020-2021 school year.
Hello, my name is John Purdue. Many of you know me from sports, or probably just sports, but I can guarantee that the people who truly know me would tell you that I have as much to offer off the field. In many ways, the real me has been masked over by a plethora of jokes made by my friends that make me sound like the stereotypical jock. These are really not true. At the same time, I can't stand before you and promise that I will always be the smartest person in the room. SAC has had many smart people elected and selflessly serve the student body of St. John's. It always seemed to me that they got elected by promising to do this or that, things that were obviously unrealistic, never happened, and frankly, do not have much to do with what SAC really does. The responsibilities of a SAC representative should involve promises to do with the work SAC really does. Did you know SAC has to manage a budget, that they meet multiple times a week, that members of SAC are divided into groups in order to break down and process the school's biggest problems? The reality is, whether we see it as regular students, SAC is a major cog in the gears of St. John's student life. Nearly all the events we attend as a student body are partially or fully organized by SAC, which brings me to why I am running. Not as the smartest guy or someone who promises to deliver taco trucks every week. We are living in a time where staying connected is more challenging than ever. That means SAC representatives must work harder than ever. In a time like now, no student or candidate, no matter how smart, has the answers on how we can manage to enjoy this year, to find fulfillment like we did in the past. Which is why my biggest promise to you is I will work and do what you know can be done. I will always make myself accessible and listen to you. I don't know what the entire student body needs. None of us do. So if elected, I want to make sure everyone feels like they can freely voice any of their concerns to me and know that I will reciprocate that in SAC. And I will make sure SAC will do the work for you. Thank you for your time.
What's up, Mavs? It's me, Matthew Prez, and I want to be your SAC rep again. So, we're juniors now, and things could be better. There's really nothing I can compare 2020 with. Oh wait, do you remember reading Test of the D'Urbervilles? All 592 pages? But don't worry guys, I know what you need. A classic wrestling story. Most would only have one concussion story. I'm not most. State tournament hundreds of massive, scary-looking wrestlers everywhere. Oh, and I was there too. I was in the zone. He was in the zone. I stepped on the mat. He stepped on the mat. But by mat, I mean this mat. He was stomping all over me. Things get hazy from here. So basically, I cradle him like a baby, pin him, crowd goes wild, I go home with the trophy, and lots of phone numbers. Okay, none of that happened. But I did get a phone number for the concussion specialist. I had a date and everything. In reality, 1 second I was wrestling, and the next I was down. A mat on a mat. I won't say which one, but one of the mats was on the verge of tears. Some might be expecting a huge comeback story and me coming in first, and get this. Didn't happen. I lost. By a lot. The only first for me was the first aid kit. I wrestled my way through 3 more matches because I wasn't going to let my team down. I even took a test later that same day. Good news, I absolutely crushed it. Bad news, it was the concussion test. Alright, so what does this show about me? I'm willing to run through brick walls for my team, head first. And again, you're my team. I loved serving you guys as vice president last year, whether it was the SAC activities, homecoming, or even the highlight of your day, class meetings. There's less than 2 years of high school left, so I don't want to worry about how everything's different and getting canceled. Life happens. School stress, not getting enough sleep, being used as an armrest, barely being able to look over the steering wheel. You know, everyday problems. But hey, I'm your guy to get you through them. We gotta make the best out of the year, and things could be worse. Test of the D'Urbervilles Part 2. Either way, I'm your guy to get you through it. Thanks for listening, and remember, vote Perez for president.
Hello, for those of you who don't know, my name is Lily Peskov, and I'm running to be your SAC representative. If there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that Dean Duncan and I currently have the most liked photo on the SAC Instagram with 284 likes. I know, we're almost as famous as the egg. In quick update, I told you guys last year that I was 3rd favorite child to my brother and dog Penelope. But I moved spots this year. I'm now 4th behind Doris the houseplant because apparently she doesn't talk back. Online school is weird. None of my teachers have realized that it's not even me going to class. It's just my older brother Jonah in his trench coat. Also, my parents have to hear me play the trumpet, 2 times a week at 8:15 in the morning. I mean, geez, I'd be my 4th favorite too. Now to the point. I can promise you that if elected, these extremely odd times will not stop me from doing my job on SAC. Last spring, after elected, when we transferred to online, I created and ran 7 weeks of Coffee House with 18 different performers streamed live every Thursday. People loved it a latte. Get it? It's Coffee House. In addition to that, I also came up with the idea for the weekly Friday Instagram takeovers and recruited all of the students and alums who participated. If elected, I promise I will continue to work at least to that same level this year. I have proven to you that not only do I have creative ideas, but I can bring them to life, pandemic or no pandemic. Can Doris do that, Mom? Probably not. Look, some of you may be thinking, wow, I'm super excited to vote. Some of you may be thinking, wow, she sure has some beef with that houseplant. And others may be thinking, Lily, that joke is not appropriate. Sincerely, Dean Duncan. So I'll end with this final thought. Stay safe, have a great day, and wear a mask, because the only cough we want on SAC is a Pesa cough.
SAC. What does that even mean? Now, I could sit here and tell you a list of things SAC, aka Student Affairs Council, is supposed to do. But instead, I want to mention the first word that comes to mind when I think of SAC, leadership. In my experience, a leader is someone who sets the example and represents the people as a whole. Being a captain of the swim team, a leader of the wellness club, and having led several community service projects in the past, I have a bit of experience and I feel confident in taking on the role of a leader of the 11th grade class. So what really qualifies me to be your leader on SAC? A responsibility very different than making sure some freshman doesn't drown in the pool. Well, I believe the biggest strength I would bring into action is my creativity, which I would love to use to help the class of 2022 thrive. Some of my ideas include combining community service in SAC games to offer house points, establishing fun traditions such as Student TikTok of the Week, and even creating competitions that can be carried out while still practicing proper social distancing, like workouts or video games. It's pretty evident that we all want to go back to campus, and for a wide variety of reasons. Whether you're eager to meet one of your teachers or hope to see a certain student walk into class in a banana costume, we're ready. If I'm elected, I'll work in collaboration with your other SAC representatives to both make online school feel as close to possible to regular school and prepare extensively for when we eventually return to campus, so that the transition is as seamless and natural as possible. I, and I'm sure many of you, have had many great leaders in your life, such as coaches, parents, and peers, and I'm asking you to make me, Bryce Pollock, your next great leader. Thank you.
Let me set the scene. 1 month into freshman year, and it was clear. I was already hurt. Told I was out for most of the cross-country season, but due to a painful reason. We had a good run with lots of fun, but I had to get dry needled. I don't know about you, but the thought of having Kleinstub stab 6 needles with an electrical current in your right knee was not very appealing to me. While the bitches sit about 3 to 4 feet off the floor, little did I know I would be so sore. As I sat on the bench getting ready to get stabbed, I thought to myself, I'm about to catch this dub with Kleinstub. I knew I was doomed in a room that boomed with field hockey players. When he gave the needles a final twist, my mind dismissed. It was lights out. I awoke to shouts of "Ah" and "Are you okay?" followed by Kleinstub saying we'll do it another day. 3 days and countless Advil later, in a different colored shirt, I hopped back onto that dreadful chair. This time, they offered to give me a football helmet, strapped me in, and we gave it another spin. 10 minutes went by. I was uptight, but most importantly upright. Then there came high fives, slapping, and clapping. I had survived. Although I couldn't run, I still showed up to every 6 a.m. practice and went to every meet. I rode countless miles on a bike, staring at nothing but a wall and going nowhere at all. Rather than going nowhere at all, I'd like to represent y'all to make the class of 2022 the best of all. By doing our best, we will outshine the rest. So here's my quest. With all the restraints of COVID, we have been at a distance, but my persistence will bring us back into existence. Starting with virtual cook-offs, step challenges, Zoom talent shows, trivia games, Netflix parties, and more engaging activities, I want to make the most of our junior year. After all, we are finally upperclassmen. I'll meet y'all on the great lawn with no fears or tears, but only great cheers. As I end my fable, which started with me falling off the table, I hope you all agree that you should vote for me and see how great our class can be.
Hey y'all, my name is Liv Rubenstein and I'm running for SAC. Some of y'all know me from Prism, JAG, or Imagination. Some of y'all also know me as the girl who wore the jean jacket a lot last year. But what you might not know is that while this is my first time running for SAC, this isn't my first run-in with the treacherous world of student politics. In 5th grade, I ran for class president on a platform of pizza bagels and longer recess. I spent countless hours coding my posters in glitter and practicing my speech, perfecting my slogan, live or die trying. However, on election day, my opponent brought cupcakes, so the vote went to her. I was crushed. But did I give up? Never. The next day, with a hastily written speech and my own sweets, I ran for class secretary, and I won. Even at 11, I had the same resilience that I have now. No matter what happens, I will never give up. As your SAC representative, I will work hard to bring you the activities that you want to see. These could include game pigeon tournaments for house points, virtual lip sync battles, virtual spoon tag, and much more. Since coming to St. John's, I have met so many incredible people and learned so much about teamwork or collaboration. I promise that if you elect me, I will work alongside you as hard as I can to make SJS the best place it can be for you. Thank you guys so much for listening, and remember, vote live or die trying. Go Mavs, and I'll see y'all soon.
Hey there, classmate. It's nice to see you today. Yeah, you're right, it has been a while since we last talked, and oh, you forgot my name? Well, I definitely didn't forget yours, but I'll admit, it's been a few months, so I'll remind you again. My name's Josh Siegel. But let's cut the small talk and get to the real business. I'd like to be your SAC president for another year. First, let me ask you a question. You like free food? No? Well, I'm gonna give it to you anyways, even in quarantine, and let me tell you how, with the magic of a story. It was late April, and I'd been serving SAC in quarantine for a solid month, and I knew I needed to find a way to make the student body happy. to make the student body eat more free food. So I decided to over-deliver for you. And a few short days later, the SAC cooking competition commenced, and the top 3 finishers got free cookies from Tiff's Treats delivered to their door. And I want to do that again for you. Even before the quarantine, though, I was exchanging donuts for textbooks. But one day, when no one exchanged any textbooks, I had to force feed my classmates donuts and steal their textbooks. Just kidding about that last part, of course. Well, after eating all those donuts and my long hibernation during quarantine, I'm gonna need some bigger clothes. So, as your SAC president, I'll introduce the Club Clothing Catalog, a website where students can buy any club merch they want in any size. But if you don't like club merch, then you probably play a sport. And you have merch from that. Well, do I have an idea for you too? When SJS sports teams begin competing again, massive crowds won't be able to form. But if you elect me, I'll do my best to make sure that every single sports game is streamed live from multiple camera angles so that you can watch baseball, basketball, football, volleyball, and even beatdowns on the wrestling match safely from the comfort of your home. So if you want epic club merch link in bio, stream sports and free food, vote Josh Siegel. And remember, you don't need a catchphrase if you have free food. Vote free food. Vote Josh Siegel.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate Willie and I want to be one of your SAC representatives. Over the past couple of months, I've had some interesting experiences with Zoom meetings, as I'm sure the rest of you have had as well. It's been especially entertaining to see how we're all adapting our student life to this new and improved format. The field hockey team has been doing practices on Zoom starting back in August. I've been using a candle for weights and a sock for a ball. It's not quite the same grueling preseason that we're used to. I've been getting a lot of conditioning in, well, air conditioning. Now that SPC and most other competitions have been canceled, it feels like the House Cup is the only thing that we can compete in and win. Sure, the activities that will get us there will look a little different than they have in previous years, but that doesn't mean that they can't still be fun. For example, virtual potato sack races, distances measured on the honor system, of course, or Zoom freeze tag. But in all seriousness, I've been dedicated to being elected to SAC for a long time. In a role where initiative and drive determine success, SAC members need to take advantage of every opportunity that comes along. We can't waste our power and sit idly by for a semester when we could be actively improving our school. I promise that if I'm elected, I'll work tirelessly to make your junior year a little more fun. I'm so passionate about improving your lives, and I hope you'll give me the opportunity to show it. I have many ideas about how we can keep St. John's student life vibrant while we're online. We've all picked up new hobbies during our time in quarantine, so why don't we incorporate them into activities for SAC? We could do trivia Kahoot games on books or movies for house points. And when we do go back in person for the half-half schedule, we could try to get equipment for socially distanced outdoor activities like badminton or even mini golf. We could also plan a picnic day where we organize blankets on the Great Lawn 6 feet apart and eat lunch together, or set up a screen and have a lunchtime showing of a movie. Junior fall is going to be strange, but we need to embrace how bizarre this moment is and make the most of it. Just because school is going to look different doesn't mean it can't be great. I believe that as your SAC representative, I can make that happen. Thank you.